Stitchy friends. Today is Tuesday, October 22nd, 2024. I cannot believe we're almost at the end of October already, the 22nd. That's crazy. Welcome to my channel. My name is Andrew, and this is the Runner Stitcher. You'll probably see my dog Winston. He's laying down on my lap right now, but I'm sure he'll be up and moving around. But welcome to the channel. We are a channel primarily about cross-stitch and my cross-stitch journey that I've been on for about a year now. And I'll also share some updates about my running journey and some big updates about the big race last weekend. So if you're new here, welcome. Thank you so much for subscribing. We hit 4,000 subscribers the last video that I recorded, and that just blew my mind. But I'm so grateful that each and every one of you are here to spend a little time with me and chat about our favorite thing, cross-stitch. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much. I appreciate you coming back. This community has just been amazing, and I really appreciate each and every one of you coming back to check me out and see what I'm up to. So yeah, we're having a little bit of a warmer weather streak here in New York. So I'm in my summer t-shirt right now, and it's supposed to get up to 80 degrees today. So not really the fall weather that we were kind of expecting or anticipating. The leaves are starting to change, but just a little bit. I anticipate within the next week or two, it'll be kind of full foliage here in New York. But yeah, we'll take this little last heat wave. I'm sure it's going to get cold from here on out, so I'll take it while it's here. But yeah, so today I've got a bunch of projects to go through with you. I've got one new start, and I've got the giveaways from the last video, so stay tuned for that. And a little bit about plans. I have a little bit of haul, Stitchy Kindness, so it's a jam-packed video again today. But I wanted to start off just by talking about the marathon that I ran last weekend. So as you'll see here, I finished the Chicago Marathon 2024 last Sunday, October 13th. And I'm still blown away from the experience. I challenged all of you to kind of stitch along if you wanted to and try to get 262 stitches in, 10 stitches for each mile that I ran that day. And so many of you joined in. I really was so surprised by how many people in this community really showed up to show their support for Ymir, Almond M&M's, and I, we were both running the marathon. And we felt all the love and support and cheers so much during that race. It was so much fun to see all of the projects being posted on Instagram. I know it's a little tricky to figure out the graphic and how to repost it, so if you didn't repost, that's totally fine too. But it was awesome to see all the projects. There was full coverage, there was mirabilias, there were block stitching, long dog samplers, like you name it, and people were stitching it, and it was just amazing. So Miss Sarah was at a retreat in London, and she ended up getting her whole table to join in on the challenge and posted a good luck from London, which just meant so much to me. And honestly, I just cannot say how much that support meant to me. It was so cool to see the community just rally around Ymir and I and show their support in the best way we can, which is by stitching. And let me tell you, the race was a tough one for me. So I thought about you guys the entire way. I really did. And whenever I was having a hard moment, I just thought of you guys sitting there stitching, and part of me wanted to be sitting down stitching as well, but knowing that I just need to push through. So I finished, which is the important part, and here is the medals. I'll show this a little bit up close so you guys can see it. The medal has really cool detail in it. I don't know how well you can see, but like the streets and the cars that are on here. In person, the medal is really awesome. There's a lot of detail in that center area. And then on the back, it does have a spot where they will be mailing me a little metal sticker to put on here with my time. So I'll always have the time recorded on the back as well. But really nice medal. I was very happy with this. And so the important thing is I finished. I got the medal, right? I completed another one of the 6 world major marathons, and that was my goal for the day. So my time was okay. It was all right. It was not my best time for a marathon, and I did really struggle at the end of the race, but I managed to finish it in 4 hours, 34 minutes, and 23 seconds. And I think I had said on my last video that I was anticipating anywhere between 4 and 5 hours, depending on how I was feeling that day. 4 would have been like a really good day. 5 would have been a really, really bad day for me personally. And so I was somewhere in between, which I felt good about the first 18 miles of the race and was kind of going along, feeling good, thinking about you guys. And then about mile 18, I started hitting the wall and I just got really tired. Thank goodness my shins that I had mentioned last time, they didn't really bother me the entire time, which was awesome. There was a little bit of pain in them towards the end, like mile 23, 24, but it wasn't anything that hindered me from running, and it didn't even really linger after the marathon. So I didn't really have any pain recovering from that after the marathon either. But I don't know, mile 18, it just hit me and I was tired. And I was so lucky to have my boyfriend there who was cheering me on. I'll put a picture up of the sign that he made, a little nod to Chapel Roan and her song. But it was so nice to have him there because he saw me a lot towards the end of the race. He was able to see me a couple of times between mile 22 and the finish, and that's what I needed. I needed his support. I needed to see somebody that I knew and could get me through. So that was really helpful. And all of you stitching along. It really meant so much to me. And while I was running, I kept getting notifications that people were tagging me in their Instagram posts, and it just meant so much to me. But I did have to walk a little bit towards the end, and that's okay. That's part of the journey. And sometimes you feel like you want to just give up and walk off the course, but you don't. You keep going forward one step at a time, whether that's a walk or a run, and then you end up finishing. So that was sort of the marathon experience for me. I'm really glad I did it. I'm really, really glad for all of you who supported me. It definitely felt emotional at the end when I finished. I was just thinking about everybody kind of supporting me, and yeah, really, really just got emotional. But overall, a very good experience. I enjoyed Chicago a lot. We had a really good time and got to see some friends that I haven't seen in a while. My friend also ran the race. He finished in just under 5 hours, I think. And so we had a good time. We ate some deep dish pizza afterwards to celebrate, and that was delicious, and had a lot of good food in Chicago. So all in all, it was a really, really great trip. And again, I just want to say thank you so much to all of you for joining in and supporting. I was blown away by how many people wanted to stitch along that day, and just that you would be thinking of me and putting in your stitches for me. So that was awesome. I've also got the 5K. So the day before the marathon, there was a 5K race, a sort of like a shakeout, meaning you just kind of get your legs moving a little bit. You're not trying for speed. You're just going pretty slowly. So we ended up doing the 5K as well, and this was the medal for that. So pretty cute, nice white medal. And so we did the 5K and the marathon, which check that off my list. So there are 2 other world major marathons that are on my list to run. There's 6 total, and I've run 4 of them. So the 2 remaining for me are Boston and London, and those are the 2 that I will keep trying to get into, and hopefully eventually run and finish the 6 world major marathons. So that's my sort of goal for my running journey. Coming up in the next little bit, I do have a race. I have a 5K race at the beginning of November and a 4-mile race towards the end of November. So those will be coming up. I'll be doing those. I am still a little undecided about the New York Marathon. It's coming up in 2 weeks, and I'm just not sure I'm ready for it this year. I'm not sure I'm in the right headspace for it. I'm not sure I'm there mentally. I am signed up for it, so if I want to run it, I can. But I think at this point, I'm leaning towards just kind of skipping it this year and trying it again next year. But we'll see. We'll see how I feel and what I'm doing. But I think I might postpone that one a bit. And then I do have another half marathon coming up in January. So that'll be the next sort of thing I'll be training for. But I think that's all I had to discuss about the marathon. But again, I just can't say thank you enough. So I'll stop saying it. But so let's get on to what you're all here for, the stitching. And let's just jump right into it. So I have a new start this week. And my new start is my Whip Go call for October, one of them, and that is this Dimensions kit called Feasting Frenzy. Super cute kit with all these different birds in the birdhouse, and it's got a lot of like half stitches and full stitches, a lot of back stitching. But I've had this kit, I think I ordered this before I even started a Flosstube. So I've had this for a while and have always wanted to start it. So I put it on my Whip Go board to kind of get it going. And finally it was called in October. So my Whip Go goal was to put in 1,500 stitches, and I managed to put in 1,683 stitches, so I'm at 9.26%. So that Whip Go goal is done now. Now, granted, some of these stitches were half stitches, so it kind of went a little quicker, but I'm counting those as stitches as well, and I'm not counting them as like I need to do 2 to count as 1, so the Whip Go goal is complete for me. But here is where I got to. Look at that bird. He's so cute. So yeah, I finished the bird and I did a lot of so all this background of the bird feeder, all of that is half stitches. And then the bird is full cross stitches. So I finished enough of the background around the bird that I could fully backstitch the bird so that he would be basically completed. Now the only thing I have left to backstitch on him are his little feet. And I just didn't have time. I finished kind of this bottom section at the last moment and just didn't have a time to put in his little backstitch feet, but otherwise that bird is complete. I also did a French knot for his eye, which I think turned out pretty good. So yeah, this is looking really, really fun. It felt kind of like a win because each bird I think is going to feel like a little bit of a finish, and then you kind of get the joy of stitching the bird, and then you can do some half stitches that go quickly to fill in the bird feeder around it, and then you get to another bird. So I think it's going to be really fun, and definitely want to keep going on this, but I'm really happy with my start. Yeah, really fun. So this is Feasting Frenzy, a Dimensions kit. I'm stitching this on all the kit materials. So I think this is an 18 count ivory Ada. I'm stitching with the floss that came in the kit, and yeah, so a lot of fun. That's Feasting Frenzy. And that is my only new start this week. So now we can get into whips, which are works in progress. These are projects that I have been working on for a while, or maybe started recently and picked up again, but all of them have already been started and I'm going through. So, as you know, I've been doing, as I mentioned last time, I've been doing the challenge for the Great British Bake Off show, where I've basically assigned a whip to each character, to each person in the show, and as different events happen, different amounts of stitches get assigned to that whip. And I'm not going to go into all the details of who's assigned to what and all of that, because I don't want to ruin anything for the show. I'm actually like a week behind in the show, so I'm not caught up. I don't know what exactly happens, but I will say that Fruits of Plenty is one of the projects that got eliminated. So when a project gets eliminated or the person gets eliminated, then I have to put in 500 stitches for that project. So Fruits of Plenty came out. Unfortunately, this is the only time it'll come out because it was eliminated. So that was kind of a bummer because I was really looking forward to getting a lot of progress on this one for this challenge. But with the 500 stitches, you saw where I was last time, and now I was actually able to get all the way across. So I focused on getting all the way to this corner here, and as you can see, I have plenty of fabric. I think this was like my early days, and I think maybe this is a fat half, but I only needed a quarter maybe or something. Anyway, it's fine. Just a lot of extra fabric, so I have plenty of space to go. But yeah, so I was able to add 525 stitches on this piece. That puts me at 17.22%. And again, I just worked on this corner over here, getting it all the way to the edge, doing this little triangle here and working down a little bit. And that was basically 500 stitches. So I'm still loving this piece. I do hope to bring it out over the holidays a little bit more. I worked on it a lot last year over the holidays, and so it just reminds me of being at my parents' place for Christmas and things. So I'm hoping I'll bring this out a little bit more and keep working on it because I love it. Every time I pull it out, I absolutely love it. And for some reason it just hasn't come out a lot. I think, again, my WhipGo board has just kind of dictated what happens this year. Now, this is on my WhipGo for one more month, and that will be 4,000 stitches for the month. So that will be another very big chunk that will get put into this piece before the end of the year. WhipGo numbers for November will get called in a couple of days, and so we'll see what is up for my November, but maybe it'll be this piece again. We'll see. But if not, it'll be December. So in the next 2 months, you'll see 4,000 more stitches. Okay, let's go on to my next whip. The next one is the Marvelous Circus. This is my first Heaven and Earth design full coverage piece. This is designed by Aimee Stewart, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. And I'm pulling up a picture here to show you what it's going to look like. Sorry, one second. Here is what it's going to look like. I don't know how well you can see this, but it is a big circus scene with, you can see that elephant in the middle, and then there's just a bunch of circus elements throughout the whole piece. But that's what it will look like in 20 years from now, maybe even 40 years from now, who knows. Again, I had started this last time, so since then, this was my bake-off challenge for the daily stitch for about a week between episodes, and so I was able to get in 561 more stitches. That puts me at 0.12%, and I will show you where I'm at. So you saw where I was at last time, and here is where I am now. So not too much added, but I've been getting into a little bit more of the bright orange colors, which has been fun. I was able to pull down this dark color a little bit further, and already you can sort of see where the curtain kind of comes in here, these little blocks, which I'm just loving. I think it's great. So I'm stitching this on a 28 count easy grid Lugana from Heaven and Earth Designs. And I'm stitching it 1/1 full cross. And honestly, this has been so much fun. I love kind of picking a symbol here and then just carrying it as far as I can, going back and stitching it again. There's something about, I don't know, stitching a full coverage that I really enjoy. So I was happy to pull this out every day. And since it's gone away for the daily stitch, I've kind of been missing it. So somehow we'll see how I can work this into our rotation more. But I don't have a goal as far as an end date on this, so I'm just going to keep pulling it out here in the next couple of years as I want to, and we'll kind of go from there. Okay, I'm going to put this down here for now. And I think I forgot to say, but Fruits of Plenty was stitched on a 32 count smoky white linen, I think it was Zweigart from 123 Stitch, and that is stitched 2/2. Okay, next up we have Autumn is as Joyful. This is by Lilas Studio, and I will show you what it looks like here. This is the cover. So it's this beautiful fall Quaker. You've all seen this. A lot of people have started this during this fall season. Samantha the Higa Stitcher started a hashtag with it, and so we're all sort of stitching along. But you'll see where I was last time, and I didn't get too much progress on it, but I was able to add 270 stitches, which puts me at 4.62%. And basically, I thought I was going to finish this Quaker here, but you can see I have just a little bit right here that's left to do. So I didn't quite get it finished, but that was just the bottom half of that was another 270 stitches. So I'm stitching this on a 40 count Winter Brew by R&R Reproductions, and this is stitched with the Vicky Clayton Silk Pack conversion, so I'm stitching it 1/2, and really loving the colors of the silks as well. Really enjoying it. Just need to keep pulling it back out. So this will be a piece that I kind of go to this season as well. And yeah, that is Autumn is as Joyful. Okay, moving right along, the next piece is Saga. Let me grab that real quick. You'll see where I was last time here, and since then I was able to add 1,143 stitches, which puts me at 19.26% for the total for the piece. And since the last time, I was able to completely finish this arch with McLaren, with McLaren, the pelican. So he's looking really good, I think. I really enjoyed kind of finishing out this whole arch here, and I got the bottom completed. I finished the bottom of him and these sort of flowers here at the bottom. I did also start a little bit in this section going down here. So next time there will be, you see here how there's this like little arch in between with this kind of image. There'll be another one of those right here in this smaller arch. So there's not a story associated with that, but that's what I'll be working on the next time. And then we'll get into this next full arch over here. So that is where I'm at so far, but it felt really good to have another arch completed. So I'll keep pulling this out. And again, I'm at 19.26%, so I'm definitely on target for my first year goal to get to 25% by February, since this is my leap day start, and I hope to finish it in 4 years. So far, that's been going good, and I'm just going to keep plugging along with how I've been doing it. All right, that is Saga. Next up, we've got Cabin Fever. This is a Mhill Kit, and this is one that I started on my California trip back in the summer. I will pull, here is what it's gonna look like. It's just this cute little campfire scene with a cabin and then a lake, some fish at the top, just super cute. I only pulled this out a very little bit, so there's not a lot of progress. I think I added 133 stitches, and basically I just added, this is kind of hard to see, I basically added this green at the bottom of the lake here. So you can see this is now all filled in, this lake scene, and I took this blue and green and sort of added it in here as well. So it's coming along really cute. I think these two blocks are now completely stitched. They just have back stitching and or beads left to do. So then as I keep pulling this out, I will work on the rest of the blocks. But that puts me at 36.38% at this piece. And yeah, I'm excited. It's coming along well. It's been fun to work on as a travel piece. So I pulled this out for one of the plane rides to Chicago, and that's when I got in the 133 stitches. But other than that, I didn't pull it out. So that's why it was minimal progress. But progress is progress. So that was fun. And it was also cool just to be reminded of my trip to Lake Tahoe in the summer in California, and yeah, just brought me back there. So, okay, next up we've got Gaia, the Earth Goddess. This is by Filipina. Here is what she is going to look like. She's so pretty. I am stitching her on a 32 count Spring Showers by Fiberlicious Yummy Fibers. And since the last time you saw her, I've been able to add 1,195 stitches, and that put me at 24.83%. Now, the reason she got so many stitches was because of the Bake Off Challenge. So she became my daily stitch for the last episode, and she also had 2 other events happen in the show that added more stitches to her. So she's been sort of a focus piece this week. This week was all about Gaia. So you saw where I was last time, and here is where I am now. Basically, I've been able to pull up this dress a little bit more. I added some more of the Krynic in here, so you'll hopefully see a little bit of that shine in the dress coming through. I also started some of this green Krynic up here that is kind of lingering off of her shawl that she is wearing. And I also did a lot of the back stitching in these pieces here. So the back stitching is fully completed on that side. You'll see a little bit here in the ferns. You'll see all of the back stitching in the reeds there. And there's also a little bit of back stitching in the dirt, but you can't really see that, so it's very minimal. But I worked on back stitching for one day and then decided, you know what, I'm gonna keep working up and seeing how she's going. But I am really loving this so far, and I also have now reached, I don't know how well you can see this, but the green Krynic here has finally reached the blue section of the fabric. So that means the blue part is going to hit about right here on her, which is almost perfect. Maybe I would have liked it to be a little bit lower, but I think it's really going to work out. I'm really happy with where I'm hitting the blue. And then the rest of her body and face and the tree branches on the top will be in the blue part of the fabric, which I think will look really cool. So that is Gaia, the Earth Goddess. And she's going to keep coming out for 100 stitches a day until I get to watch the next episode. So I think I've got one other piece to work on before I can switch to the next episode, so she'll keep coming out until I finish that piece. All right, that's Gaia. I feel like I'm flying through this today, but I know last week was a longer video, so maybe this one will be a little bit shorter. We'll see. The last piece I've got to show you is my Halloween Quaker. This is also by Lilas Studio, and let me pull up what that is going to look like here. I know you've all seen these, but I'll just share it as well. Here is Halloween Quaker. I just love these Quakers so much. They're really a joy to stitch on. I'm stitching them all in 40 count linen. So this one is 40 counts Haunted by Seraphim Fabrics. Again, I'm using the Vicky Clayton Silk Pack conversion. So I'm stitching it 1/2. And since the last time you saw it, I have been able to add in this little motif here in this beautiful like brown color. And then I started on the witch, which I'm really happy with how the witch is going to be sitting here in the fabric with the modeling kind of around her. So that was really exciting. And yeah, I was able to add 525 stitches, which puts me at 5.78%. And honestly, all of those stitches, except for the little brown section, were in the witch. So I'm only halfway done with her, but I do hope to at least finish the witch throughout this Halloween season. But yeah, I'm really loving how this is coming out so far. Sorry about all the loose fabric, but it's currently active, so it's in my Q-snap. But yeah, that is Halloween Quaker. All right, and those are all the whips I've got for you. That's what I was working on. A little less stitching than before because I was in Chicago for about 5 days, and with the race and everything going on, I just didn't get as much in, but I had the race too, so always something going on. Yeah, so that's all my stitching. Let's jump into the giveaways now, because I know you're all super excited about the giveaways. I also just want to say a huge thank you for all of your sweet comments on my finish of Lily of the Woods last week, or 2 weeks ago. Y'all were just so nice. I know that I'm hard on myself when I'm stitching and when I see all the little flaws in a piece, but you all really encouraged me and got me through to the end of Lily as well. You know, I think this community, we have a way of rallying around people, and that is just incredible. I think the support I got on Lily throughout the whole time I was stitching her was amazing. Really pushed me forward to continue learning and continue growing, and so I just want to say thank you for that. All the comments last week were amazing. But we had a lot of comments for the giveaway, so let's jump into them. The first giveaway that I'm going to do is for these two patterns, and the keyword was angel. So we have Coventry Angel and the Angel's Prayer. And for this one, we had 23 comments, and the winner is, there's no name, so I'm just going to read off the numbers. Hopefully you know who you are, but this is at 47720. So if you, and I'm putting a picture of the comment up here, if this is you, if you are at 47720, please send me an email. The email address is down below in the link in the description box, but it's therunnerstitcher@gmail.com. If you want to send me an email with your address, I will be happy to get these in the mail to you. And yeah, you're the winner. So congratulations at 47720. All right. The next one I'm going to do is for this lovely pattern that I bought twice. This is Holiday Spirit from Black Swan. And for this one, there were 40 comments that entered the giveaway. And the winner is Deborah Benson 1532. So Deborah Benson, you used the word spirit, and I'm putting a picture of your comments up here, but you are the winner of this pattern. So Deborah, go ahead and send me an email and I will get this in the mail to you. All right, now for the two that everybody was really vying for. So I was giving away my pattern of Lily of the Woods, And I said to use the word woods in a comment. There were 114 of you who did that, and a lot of you wanted to stitch her. She is beautiful, so I hope whoever wins this has a great time stitching her and really enjoys her as much as I did. But the winner of Lily of the Woods pattern is Sue Fisher 5060. Put a picture of your comment here, but Sue Fisher 5060, you are the winner of the Lily of the Woods pattern. So if you can send me an email as well, I will be sure to get this in the mail to you. Okay, and the final giveaway was for the pattern of Comfort Lighthouse. This is by Carriage House Samplings. So this is the pattern, and I'm also including the silks if the person is interested. So the silks are all labeled here with what they are, and I think there's enough to stitch this, especially if you're using just one strand of the silk. There'll be enough to stitch it. So we had 173 comments for this one. A lot of you want to stitch this beautiful crab. And so the winner of this is Janet Fraser 8317. I'll put a picture of your comment here. So Janet Fraser 8317, congratulations. You are the winner of Comfort Lighthouse. And just go ahead and send me an email and let me know if you're interested in the silks as well. And I will be sure to pop that in the mail to you. And those are the giveaways for the week. So let's jump into plans real quick. Obviously, October WIPCO is over. Oh, you want to talk about plans too? Obviously, October WIPCO is over now. So I started the Heaven and Earth design, which was my first call, and I also did 1,500 stitches on Feasting Frenzy. So both of those are done. We will get our new WIPCO calls here in a few days. And I will know what my plans are for November, and then by default I will know what my plans are for December. So that will be really nice. I can kind of plan out the rest of the year and get that all squared away. There's still two really big calls on WIPCO left, so I'm hoping they don't end up in the same month. That will be a doozy. And then there's one smaller one and then one kind of medium, so we'll see what happens. I'm also continuing with the Great British Baking Show plans. As I said, I'm a week behind, so I'm just kind of stitching and completing the stitching as I can, and then when I'm ready, watching the next episode. Before I can watch the next episode, I have 500 stitches to do on Woodland Enchantress. Unfortunately, that's another pattern that got eliminated, so this will be the last 500 stitches for this challenge. But once I complete that, then I will be able to watch the next episode and kind of move on. So that will be sort of in my plans for the week. And then I also need to get back to the Witch Whip, which you guys picked as pancakes. And I didn't get to work on this time. I think with the Chicago trip and just kind of with everything else going on, that one got neglected, and I'm sorry about that. So I will be sure to pick that up for at least one day before the next video, so you will see progress on pancakes. Again, that was a whip that you chose. I picked two from a random wheel, and you chose which one you wanted to see some progress on, and that was pancakes. The goal for that is to get 2,500 stitches into pancakes before we do the next Witch Whip. So I will keep track of my stitches, and we'll see how much I have to go each episode until we get down to 0, and then we'll pick a new one. So that will be the plans as well. And then mostly just kind of gearing up for November stitching. I would like to work on my Mermaids of the Season piece before Christmas, because I know once December hits, I'm just going to want to stitch all things Christmas. And that means I should really finish the Fall Mermaid before. So that's going to be big in my plans for November and the end of October. I want to keep pulling out Halloween Quaker and Autumn Quaker, and then some of my Christmas pieces in December. So that'll be exciting. Okay, moving on to haul and Stitchy Kindness. So I want to start off with the Stitchy Kindness. Helen D, who, if you're not watching her channel here, definitely go check her out. So many great tutorials, so many great finishes. She's lovely to watch. I love the project she's choosing, and just really helpful with all of her finishing tutorials. But anyway, Helen reached out to me and said, hey, I've got this Teresa Wentzler pattern. Would you like it? And I seem to be collecting them all and still have not started one. But there is one start on my plans for November, and that will be the Egyptian Sampler by Teresa Wensler. Anyway, the pattern she sent me is this beautiful, brilliant plumage by Teresa Wensler. This is stunning. I mean, look at this border. That is going to take probably as long as the Heaven and Earth design piece, in all honesty. But I really just love them. There are 2 separate designs here, and I think I will stitch this one up here. I kind of like that one better. I just like that one better. So that's the one I will be stitching, I think, at this point, eventually. And again, a huge floss list, so I'll need to figure out how I'm going to get that kitted up. But Helen, thank you so much for this. I will definitely be starting this at some point. And she also included this cute little needle minder with her logo on it, which I just think is so cute. So Helen, thank you so much. That was very kind of you, and I really appreciate it for the kindness. And then just a little bit of haul, not too much that I got, but a few patterns that I found on a Facebook de-stash group. These are both Hummel, and I've got the hikers. So I've got the little hiker and Off to Town, which are super cute. And then I got these 2 as well, which are Playmates and Chick Girl. I just think these Hummel kids are so cute. And yeah, someday I would like to stitch them. So those were 2 additions to my haul that I got, or additions to my collection, I should say. And then I was able to get this is probably a kit that I've wanted for a while and just couldn't find it, couldn't bring myself to paying so much on eBay, but I finally was able to get Soul of the Rose from Dimensions. This is just a stunning piece, and I really cannot wait to stitch this up. So this is the Gold Collection Dimensions kit, and it comes with all the floss in the back. Definitely a unicorn piece for me that I have been looking for a while, and so, sorry about the glare. So I'm really excited to start this. I don't know when I will start it yet, but it's just amazing to have this in my collection now. And look how beautiful she is. That's going to be a lot of fun to stitch. So that was added to my collection. And I think that's all I've got. I think that's everything for this week. So thank you again for all the support, all the love, for not only Lily for reaching 4,000 subscribers, but for the marathon, for Ymir and I. That meant just the world to me. I can't say it enough. I loved every single project that you guys were working on. Oh, I also wanted to say, some of you created little cheer cards on the marathon app, and I was able to see them. I got to see all of them after the race, and that meant so much to me. Just kind of going through and seeing what all you did for the cheer cards to cheer me on that day really meant a lot. It was awesome how many of you downloaded the app and were tracking me and stitching along during the actual race. So yeah, thanks for doing that. I still am floored and can't say thank you enough. But this community has just been incredible to me, and yeah, really grateful for each and every one of you to kind of support me in that way. So, all right, enough blabbing now. So if you are a runner, keep running, always keep stitching, and be kind to whoever you meet on your journey. Bye for now, until the next stitch.